Hello everyone, welcome to this channel, Renjith this side. So this channel is specifically dedicated for fintech or trading and the data science. So in this video, we'll be going through one of the classic trend following pattern, which is Marubozu Candlestick pattern. So let's start this. The Marubozu Candlestick has a fascinating pattern with its unique name because it means the bald. So, and also it's called close cross head in Japan, and there is a reason behind it. Now it's easy to spot the Marubozu candlestick because they don't have the wicks, and that's the reason it's called the bald or let's say close cross head. Now if you see over here, so in the bullish Marubozu, it has the same open and low price and it has the same close and high price. And this is normally we call it the bullish pattern. And then we in the bearish Marubozu, we have the close is equal to the low and the open is equal to high. And now why this happens is because the market is most of the time for the bullish is like trending market. And then if you see, do not have the wick, it do not have the wick, and this is the reason it's different from a normal candlestick. And there's a reason behind it. And but you normally find these kind of Marubozu candles in 1 minute time frame or let's say 5-minute time frame. The reason being there is less fluctuation in shorter time frame. Now if you see over here, you could see one of the Marubozu candle or let's say the bullish candle over here, and then maybe somewhere over here as well. So it means there are no sellers and in the 1 minute candle most of the time. And sometimes even the volume is high, but here I do not see much high volume, but normally the sellers are very less and then the buyers are very high when it comes to the bullish one. So sellers are less than buyers. And the same goes for the bearish one as well, Marubozu. Even though it's, like I said, it's very rare to find such candlestick, but here I can find one. So this is Marubozu, and whereas, yeah, this is one again, a Marubozu candle, and then again here one. So like I said, it's mostly found in the 1 minute candle, 5-minute candle, and then sometimes even 1 day. But this is very rare. I mean, yeah. Let's go back and maybe we can check in the trading view as well. Let me try to find it. Okay, so this is our 1 minute candle, and then this is what I was showing you, and then maybe we can find it in 5-minute candle as well. Let me try to find it. Like I said, it's very rare because see, there is no much fluctuation in the market. If there is no much fluctuation with the shorter time frame, so the Marubozu is very rare to be found in the candlesticks. So let me find some. So here we have one. So if you see, so I don't know why this is not. Anyways, so this is the one candlestick Marubozu, and then again let me find something else. It's yeah. This is the one again, bullish one, and then what else? I think this is it. There is not much. Yeah, there is one more over here. It's more like it's bullish one. So this chart basically I created. That's how I work when it comes to the chart, finding the chart. The patterns is basically one. I use this as a 1 day, and then I have 1 week and then 1 month. So basically that gives you an overview of what is happening with that particular chart or particular stock. Now if we go back to the coding part, see, it's easy to find. So we will be using one of the function in the code, which is a rounding function. But now in the rounding function, normally what the traders do is use the 4 pips or 5 decimal points. But in the code, if we use the 4 decimal, so normally what we do, we use 5 decimal points, or nowadays the traders are using 5 decimal points. But if we use the 5 decimal points now, then it's not easy to find the Marubozu candle. I'll show you in the code. So let's go back to the code first. So if you have seen my previous videos, we have covered most of the code. I will just run it just to make sure that we are on the same page. So we are running all the packages or the libraries that are needed. Then this is my credential for the MetaTrader 5. Then we have the time frames, then all the assets, and then this is how we will take the data from the MetaTrader 5. So again, I will just run this, and I'll come back to the code where how we do create the Marubozu candle. Now mass import, again one of the function that we need. Now here, this is where we normally be passing on the time frame. So I have taken it as 1 day. Sorry, this is the index for the asset, and then this is day 1. So basically we are taking this day 1. Okay, now going back to frame D1 and frame H1, I'll just say 1, or I'll just take what it was, right, D1, frame H1, and then I will make the changes over here, frame D1 and H1. I think this was, so basically, yeah. And then, sorry, it was my mistake. Basically, yeah, we had passed D1 and H1. Okay, now after that, we have adding column. So I will come on to that why we are adding column. I think yeah, it's there. And then this is the main logic that is basically creating the signal. So what it does, we are passing all the parameters over here. Just so basically we had the data, open column, high, low and close we already had, and then we are creating the buy signal and the sell signal, and then yeah, we are basically adding 5 more columns based on that, because now if you see 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this data frame do not have 5 columns, so that's why we are adding 5 more columns. Now if what it says for the bullish pattern, like we discussed, if the close price is greater than the open price, and so this is basically for the bullish pattern, and then if the high price is equal to the close price and the low price is equal to the open price, and buy column is basically 0. So there is no signal. And then the same goes for the bearish part. So basically the close column, close price should be less than the open price, high price should be equal to the open, low column or low price should be equal to the close, and then yeah, sell signal is 0. Now how do we do that? It's basically the logic that I mentioned earlier. I'll just share the code probably. So this is the logic that I built. Maybe I can just write the logic over here. So let me just, and for the bullish. So this is the logic that I built. So this is for bullish and this is for bearish. Maybe you can just take note of that, but I will share it. I'll be sharing the code on my website, and I'll share the link on the description. Okay, so what we did, we again are plotting the candles like we did in the last video. Maybe you can go through that. Now this is one of the important part. If you would like to see, let's say, the Marubozu candle, I'll come on to that why, and then the chart signal. Now this is what we got as our output. If you see, let me just first run with 5 decimal points. Now here you will see most of the candles have a big wick, and if you want to see the Marubozu, then probably you have to, let's say, okay, let me show you the data. That's maybe you will be able to understand more. So for 5 decimal places, this is how the data looks like. But now if I make it like 4 decimal places, so basically the chances are like, these values might match with each other, because the lower or lesser the round figures, it will match more. For an example, let's say if I make it like 3, now these values will match more, because for an example, let's say still there are like small differences, but and this is just for the sake of showing it to you, because I'll not recommend you to do that. Now if you see, we almost have the open, close, high and low almost like the same price. This is not recommended if you see over here. So yeah, I mean this is not recommended. 4 is okay, I would say, but in the 4 you might not be able to see much of the same prices. But yeah, play around with this if you really want to see the Marubozu how it looks. But I mean it's better to watch it on the TradingView website itself, rather than playing around with your code for specifically for the rounding part. I think that's it. So yeah, that's all. If you like this video, please make sure to like, share and subscribe. Till then, take care, eat healthy and drink plenty of water.